So, there's this person missing, and she's really itching to know how Tanchun is handling this situation. Who's this person? It's Wang Xifeng. As Tanchun steps up, and Xifeng wants to know how she's going to handle things, so she sends Ping Er. When Ping Er shows up, you know she's speaking for Xifeng. Let's skip ahead a bit. Suddenly, someone says, "Second Madam sent Ping Er to talk." When Zhao Yinyang hears that Ping Er here, she clams up right away. Zhao Yinyang's scared of Ping Er, which means she's scared of Xifeng. Basically, Zhao Yinyang's powerless, as soon as Xifeng shows up. Zhao Yinyang's got nothing to say and doesn't dare to speak. Zhao Yinyang has always been a puppet for the Xing family, and the members of that crew use her as a puppet. Now that Ping Er's here, she's all smiles, offering her a seat and asking, "Is your madam feeling better?" "I was just about to go and check, but I'm too busy." Li Wan asks, "Ping Er, what are you here for?" Ping Er says, "Madam said that since Zhao Yinyang's brother has passed away, Madam and Miss might not be aware of the old rule. According to the usual practice, it should be 20 taels, but now, if the Miss decides to add a little more, it would also be acceptable." Xifeng intentionally brought this suggestion over to test Tanchun. The old rule was clear, 20 taels, but Xifeng said that adding a little more would also be acceptable. Why suggest this? Because Zhao Yinyang's brother is Tanchun's uncle. Passing on such a message is a test for whom? For Tanchun. Tanchun immediately said, "What's the point of adding anything? Is there some special consideration I am not aware of? Otherwise, has he given up his life for our family? Your master is really clever, making me set a precedent while she plays the good person. She happily spends the money that doesn't belong to her. You tell her that I don't dare to add or subtract anything. She can come up with her own ideas. Let her show her generosity. When she's ready, she can add whatever she wants." Upon hearing these words, Ping Er immediately understood. Seeing the anger on Tanchun's face, Ping Er's attitude towards Tanchun was no longer the same as before. Normally, their relationship was very good, with no distinction between master and servant. But now, Ping Er immediately and consciously assumed her proper role, standing by silently with her hands down. As I mentioned before, Ping Er represents a certain social class in contemporary Chinese society, known as a half-master. It's not easy being a half-master. You have to constantly adjust your role and not consider yourself a full master. So Ping Er understood this very well, and at that moment, she was just a servant, serving who? Tanchun. Tanchun washed her face, Ping Er serving like a maid. As we can see in the following passage, because Tanchun had just cried, 3 or 4 maidservants brought a wooden basin, handkerchief, and a mirror. Tanchun sat cross-legged on a low couch, and the maidservant with the basin knelt down, holding it high. The other 2 little maidservants sat beside her, holding the handkerchief and the mirror and cosmetics. Since the personal maid was not there, Ping Er hurried over to help Tanchun take off her sleeves and bracelets, then took a large towel to cover Tanchun's clothes, and Tanchun reached out to wash her face in the basin. At that moment, Ping Er was just playing the role of a maid, standing all proper and stuff. But then she went and called out the people around her, "What are you all up to? Can't you see the lady washing her face? Instead of helping her out, you're just chatting away. Would you do the same in front of second lady? Even though the lady is easygoing, I'll let second lady know that you guys don't respect her. If things go south, don't come crying to me." She was slick with her words, and who was she talking to? Tanchun. It was like a hint that second lady had her back. So, what was Ping Er up to? She was basically smoothing things over between Xifeng and Tanchun, kind of hinting to Tanchun that Xifeng had her back. You see, this half-master has got a new boss now, right? Xifeng is the first boss, and now there's a new boss in town. How's she gonna handle having two bosses? She can't let them start butting heads. But don't worry, if there's any drama, she'll step in and sort it out. When we talk about Wang Xifeng, we gotta talk about Ping Er too. Who's Ping Er, you ask? Well, as Lu Sun put it, Ping Er is just plain and simple. Lu Sun said that a thief needs a partner in crime, and a con artist needs a partner in deceit. Xifeng is both a thief and a con artist, and by her side is none other than Ping Er. And you know what? Ping Er is just plain and simple, like Lu Sun said. But she's also the one who can handle the toughest situations, which is why she's considered the only fully fleshed out character in the book. While washing her face, Tanchun spoke to Ping Er at the same time. From their conversation, we can sense Tanchun's dissatisfaction with Xifeng's general behavior. As Tanchun washed her face, she coldly chuckled at Ping Er, "You're a step too late." And it's quite comical that Wu Jijia, who is so experienced, did not bother to get the facts, and we are almost misled. Fortunately, we questioned her, but she had the audacity to claim she forgot. I asked her, would she forget when reporting to your mistress? I doubt your mistress has the patience for this. So Ping Er began to admonish the ladies in waiting outside. Privately she told them, as long as you get it, that's fine. She was also apologetic to Tanchun, you know, Miss, second lady already has a lot on her plate. How can she keep track of everything? It's no surprise she might overlook some things. As the saying goes, outsiders see more clearly. Over the past few years, Miss, you've been keeping a close eye and know what needs to be added or removed. If second lady has missed something, you might as well handle it. It's good for Lady Wang, and also shows the kindness Miss has for my mistress. In other words, you can tweak the policies that second lady has put in place. By doing so, you're actually being kind to her. You're very persuasive. And you haven't forgotten to show kindness to our madam. There are indeed many things that need adjusting. As soon as Ping Er finished talking, Li Wan and Bao Chai burst out laughing. What a clever girl. No wonder Sister Feng spoils her. We didn't think there was anything more to add, but now that you've spoken, we'll have to come up with two things to consider, so your words don't go to waste. It was all in good fun. Tanchun is really set on shaking things up. She's not beating around the bush. Tanchun chuckled and said, I was so mad, ready to let off some steam on her, but then she came and said those things, leaving me at a loss. Later, she had another chat, which you can see later, saying that she, as the second mistress, has always been the kind of person who likes to be doing things. So Tanchun made it clear that there's a policy difference between her and Sister Feng, so she is stepping up to change things. Hey, we've got a situation here. Bring in the mistress who was just here and ask her how the silver for Huan Yi and Lan Ji's studies this year was used. I mean, for these young masters and their studies. Every month, we're shelling out an extra 8 taels of silver. Tanchun is making a fuss about it, but what's the big deal? Then the mistress says that the extra 8 taels of silver is used for snacks or buying paper and pens for each student. Tanchun goes, the guy's expenses come out of their monthly allowances. Yinyang household gets 2 taels for Huan Gu, Shiren from the second lady's quarters collects 2 taels for Baoyu, and Lan Ji's expenses are collected from the first lady's household. Why the extra 8 taels for their studies? It can't be they're going to school for this extra silver. From now on, we're scrapping this expense. Tell your mistress, I'm saying this item must be stopped. Ping Er smiles and says, it should have been stopped ages ago. Last year, the mistress said she'd waive it, but she was so busy, she forgot. She's got Xifeng's back with that statement. Alright, I'll go back Xifeng now. So, Feng Jie sent Ping Er, right? She wanted to see how Tanchun would handle things, especially after Zhao Guoji's death. Xifeng has been waiting at home. Let's skip a few sections and focus on this part. Here it is. Tanchun's anger gradually subsided. See? Her anger gradually faded, and she said to Ping Er, "There's an important matter I've been meaning to discuss with your grandmother. It just came to mind. Finish your meal quickly and come here. Bao Chai is also here. The four of us will discuss it and then carefully ask your mistress if it's feasible or not." When Tanchun said this to Ping Er, we can already see Ping Er's success because Tanchun is about to do something big. It's the reform I mentioned yesterday, the implementation of the contract responsibility system for collective production. Originally, Tanchun wanted to handle it on her own and sideline Xifeng. But due to Ping Er's influence, Tanchun asked Ping Er to finish her meal first and quickly join the discussion. Then they would ask Xifeng if it was feasible or not. This is what the new mistress is preparing to do with the old mistress, right? Collaboration. It's not acting independently but giving Ping Er the opportunity to attend the meeting. We will see that this is a very important meeting. In Chapter 56, I saw this meeting as a Politburo meeting. Throughout Chapter 56, it was all about attending a Politburo meeting. Now, the Tanchun has given Ping Er the right to attend this meeting as a non-voting member.